Presenting, using body language. If you've ever done any sort of public speaking before, you know how much work goes into it. Even before the big day, you can spend hours getting ready, from writing your speech to making the slideshow. But here's the thing. It's not just about what you say or what's on the screen. It's about how you say it and how you present yourself. This same level of care and preparation should go into how you present yourself physically, namely your voice and body language. Thinking back on the best presentations you've seen, you may not remember the layout of the slides or the wicked transitions, but guaranteed you remember how the speaker connected with you and made you feel. This is because most of the information we receive as an audience comes through the speaker's body language, their enthusiasm, and the tone of their voice. Your voice and body language convey a lot during a presentation. In this video, we'll learn to work with your body language to help you appear confident and in control, even when you're feeling the exact opposite. So, why is it important to improve our physical presence? Well, to put it simply, body language can make or break a presentation. You are communicating with your audience with more than just your words. Your body is also communicating. Your body language can make the difference between a dull, static presentation and a dynamic, engaging one. Body language encompasses many elements of your physical presence. The 5 major categories of body language are facial expression, eye contact, posture, gestures, and position and movement. We'll break these categories down to help you prepare to give your best presentation yet. Facial expressions. Face-to-face interaction is a huge aspect of human relationships. Think of all the times you've sent a text or an email and worried that the tone of your message didn't quite come across. When it comes to accurately communicating with others, what we do with our face is vital. Normally, we don't consciously manage our facial expressions, but there are instances when we need to consider the message that our faces are sending, like during a presentation. The first and most important thing to keep in mind is to ensure you're actually using your facial expressions at all. When you present with a blank face, it's like speaking in a monotone voice. Regardless of how fantastic your content may be, your audience won't stay engaged. Of course, just using rehearsed facial expressions while speaking won't work either. It has to come across as natural. The key is to pay attention to what you're saying. When your facial expression matches the tone of your words, your message will be clearer, and you'll come across as more genuine. Your expression tells your audience a lot about you and your trustworthiness. Eye contact. Eye contact establishes an instant connection with your audience. Think about how you feel when having a one-on-one interaction and someone is avoiding making eye contact with you. Now multiply this feeling across an entire audience. Eye contact is a powerful tool. When you engage with individual listeners, it helps them to feel connected to you and your content. When speaking to a group, briefly direct your attention to one person at a time. When there's a suitable break in your speech, usually at the end of a thought or breath, shift your gaze away to another individual. By the end of your presentation, you should have made eye contact with everyone at least once. Depending on the size of your audience, this could mean every individual person, or every section of a large crowd. This strategy is known as the leadership gaze. Visually checking in with each audience member shows that you care about their experience, as well as about how your message is being received. Avoid scanning the entire room, staring at one spot or one person for too long, allowing your eyes to wander aimlessly, or frequently looking at your notes, as these come across as dull and might even convey uncertainty. Posture. Posture is a vital aspect of a presentation, as it acts as the first impression you make before you even begin to speak. Good posture exudes confidence, authority, and professionalism, capturing your audience's attention and respect. In contrast, poor posture may make you seem uncertain or disinterested, detracting from your message's impact. Whether sitting or standing, maintaining proper posture is a simple yet powerful way to improve communication and connect with your audience. Here are some do's and don'ts to help you maintain proper presentation posture. Don't slouch. Slouching or hunching over gives the impression of disinterest or a lack of confidence. Your posture should be upright and open. Stand or sit up straight with your shoulders back. This posture exudes confidence and signals to your audience that you are attentive and engaged. This will make you look and feel more confident. Don't be tense. It's important to look relaxed when presenting. Even if you're anxious, looking too rigid will project your fear or discomfort onto your audience. This creates a barrier that makes it hard to gain the audience's trust. Before you begin, and at intervals throughout your presentation, remind yourself to relax by pausing and taking a deep, calming breath. Do think about your audience. When writing and brainstorming the content of your presentation, you probably consider the demographic of the audience in order to gear it more accurately to them. The same strategy can be put in place when it comes to posture and body language. Different situations require different levels of formality. Adapt your posture to be more open or more formal accordingly. Do be adaptable. Presentations, as with life, don't always go according to plan. You should have an open and communicative posture, no matter what the specific setup is. Be prepared to adapt to unexpected situations. Try to find out any specific restrictions or guidelines beforehand. For example, you may need to use a microphone or stand at a lectern, both of which restrict how natural you can be. In this case, adapting quickly can help you make the best of the facilities provided. Gestures. Gestures play a vital role in a presentation because they add a dynamic dimension to your message, making it more engaging and memorable for your audience. They can help convey emotions, emphasize key points, and provide nonverbal cues that enhance understanding. Effective gestures also showcase your confidence and enthusiasm, reinforcing your credibility as a speaker. Think of gestures in 4 major groups. Descriptive gestures help describe things like size, shape, or location of the objects you're discussing. Emblematic gestures underscore strong emotions. Actions like nodding, shrugging, or placing a hand on your heart are universally understood and will emphasize the emotion behind your message. Representational gestures give information about what you're doing. A good strategy for exploring representational gestures is to use the verb in your presentation as cues for the actions that might go along with them. Go through your speech to find the action words and think of gestures that might accompany them. Lastly, pantomime gestures. Pantomime gestures are a good way to ask your audience to participate or respond. For example, if you want members of your audience to raise their hand, you may raise your hand to show them. Your gestures, as well as the rest of your body language, should never look too rehearsed. You can start by thinking of the ways in which you normally move, and try to rehearse these movements that come naturally to you. If you ever feel like you're forcing a movement, think of another gesture that feels more natural to your style. Try to avoid nervous mannerisms, such as playing with your hair, picking at your hands, or pulling on your clothes. These nervous behaviors will let the audience know how nervous you are. Try practicing and planning where you will use specific gestures to help you channel your nervous energy into constructive movement that support your ideas. Position and movement. Position and movement are crucial in a presentation as they help maintain your audience's attention and prevent monotony. Shifting your position or moving purposely around the stage can emphasize different parts of your message and keep your audience visually engaged. Additionally, strategic movement can help convey energy and enthusiasm, enhancing your connection with the audience and making your presentation more impactful. Your movement is entirely dependent on your available space. Knowing where you will be speaking in advance will help you determine if you have any freedom in choosing your position or if movement within the space is even an option. If you're giving an online presentation or are confined behind a lectern, gestures may be more feasible and impactful. If you do have some space to move, make sure your movements are clear and directed, never aimless wandering. For instance, you might consider kicking off your presentation by stepping forward on the stage and posing a question to your audience. This approach not only helps you gauge their prior knowledge, but also engages them and conveys your genuine interest in their experiences. The significance of body language in presentations cannot be overstated. It serves as a powerful tool for conveying confidence, engaging the audience, and enhancing the overall impact of your message. With all aspects of body language, it's important to consider the size of the room and the audience. A larger crowd calls for larger facial expressions, wider gestures, and bigger movements. In theater, they call it playing to the back row. You need to make sure that every audience member, no matter their proximity to you, can sense the emotion of your presentation and feel as though you're engaging with them directly. By paying attention to your facial expression, eye contact, posture, gestures, and position and movement, you can establish a strong connection with your audience, make your message more memorable, and ultimately deliver a presentation that leaves a lasting impression. So, remember that your body speaks just as loudly as your words, and harnessing its potential can greatly elevate your presentation skills.